Today we had our Project CONVERGE Student Research Symposium. Students from 15 schools around New Jersey and a couple from New York brought posters, and they got to talk to students from other schools and scientists from the mission about what their research projects were and what they found, as well as ask more questions and find out what the scientists have been doing since they got back from Antarctica.
Today was the culmination of a whole program that started last year to try and engage students to be part of our science team. So they were, and there were over close to 1,000 students that participated, and they were doing science right alongside with us. And we would love to be able to send 1,000 students to Antarctica to experience it firsthand, but we can't. So this was a way that we could have scientists in New Jersey, New York, actually participate in research that's going on in Antarctica while it's going on. Where are we in our research? Well, where are you guys in your research? What are some of the steps that you did to get here today? This is our first map that I tried to bring all the pieces together. You guys should probably recognize some of the data that's on this plot. You have looked at this data way more than we have. And so we are all very excited to look at the work that you've done so you can help us.
As scientists, we all have our own personal experiences about that person or those series of events that sprung you and pushed you into sciences. And it's different for everybody. All these stories seem to have a component of an experience or someone in the field talking to them, encouraging them. That seems to be common. So I'm hoping that some of them, maybe this is going to be a moment where this and maybe other things culminates together to push their career into oceanography or marine science or polar science, and it's fun to know that that is a significant possibility.
What is another major goal in your field of science that you'd like to accomplish besides the project in Antarctica?
That's a great question. For me, a big goal is to try and understand those connections so that we can have a more confident prediction of what's going to happen into the future.
What was it like on your first day on the job, and what was your reaction when they told you you were going to become a scientist?
So no one ever told me I was going to become a scientist.
I always felt like I was pretending to be a scientist. And in fact, at one point, my wife at the time when I was in graduate school with Josh, she was teaching at a school in Asbury Park, and she had in her first grade class wanted different people to come in, and I came in as a scientist, and I came in dressed, like this, and the kids looked at me, and one of the kids called me out and just said, "You ain't no scientist." So that hurt my feelings, but it was probably true, because in science sometimes you do feel like the problems that you're trying to solve are so big that you feel a little bit like the protector sometimes. So you really do rely on your community around you to solve the problems that we're looking for. So.
You guys all have an idea already of what it's like to be a scientist because you've done these posters and these projects, and you've followed this project. And I think one of the great things about being a scientist is letting your imagination run, thinking of things that you would like to know the answer to, and then figuring out how to find that answer.
Please give yourselves a round of applause.
We also want to extend a huge thank you to all of your teachers. Without them, this would not have been possible. You would not have been brought this opportunity this year in your classes. So let's give them a round of applause.
This project would not have been possible without the support of the National Science Foundation, so thank you to them as well.